If you've ever dreamed of living abroad, you've probably considered Europe at some point. And why not? With its cobblestone streets, vineyards, and rich history, it's the stuff of travel fantasies. But what if I told you that you could enjoy an equally beautiful, easier, and far more affordable life just a few hours from home? Today, we're comparing Panama versus Hungary, two very different countries that both offer charm, culture, and adventure. But only one truly wins for expats. Let's count down from number 10 to number 1 and find out which country takes the crown. Welcome to the Panama Podcast, from dreaming to doing. I'm your host, Melissa Darnay. If you want insider tips on living, investing, and having a blast in Panama, go to choosepanama.com and snag your free copy of Panama Uncorked. Number 10, ease of residency. Getting legal residency is often the first big hurdle for expats. In Hungary, the process can be bureaucratic and intimidating. There are a few visa options, including a new golden visa program, but it requires a minimum investment of about $300,000 US. And even then, you're not guaranteed permanent residency. You'll need mountains of paperwork, patience, and probably a strong shot of espresso. In Panama, it's refreshingly simple. Programs like the Pensionado Visa for retirees make it one of the easiest countries in the world to obtain permanent residency. Many people are fully legal within months and for a fraction of the cost. The winner? Panama, hands down. Number 9, cost of living. Hungary may be one of the cheaper countries in Europe, but compared to Panama, it's not the runaway bargain you might expect. In Budapest, the cost of rent and dining out are rising quickly. In fact, I was shocked at some of the restaurant prices. My favorite pre-dinner drink is a Cure Royale. It's made with dry sparkling wine and a dash of creme de cassis. In Panama's highest-ranking 5-star restaurants, a Cure Royale costs about $10 to $12. In Budapest, it was over $20 for one tiny glass of mediocre bubbles. Also in Budapest, groceries and utilities are more expensive than in many parts of Panama. Outside of Budapest, the prices dropped dramatically, but so did the quality and availability of products and services. In Panama, you can still live very comfortably on a modest budget. Fresh tropical produce is affordable. Health insurance is inexpensive, and domestic help is so affordable that it's part of everyday life. The winner? Panama, for giving you luxury lifestyle at a fraction of what it costs in Europe. Number 8, real estate fees and buying process. When it comes to buying real estate, Hungary is charming until you dive into the paperwork. Foreigners can buy property there, but you'll need to apply for a special foreign buyer permit, which can take up to 2 months to get. And it's not free. Expect to pay over $200 just for the government's approval. Once you're cleared to buy, you'll need a Hungarian attorney to handle the contract and title registration. Legal fees usually run about 1% of the purchase price. And if you need an English translation of your contract, tack on another $350. But the biggest expense comes after the sale. Hungary charges a hefty 4% transfer tax on the property's value. That means if you buy a $300,000 property, you'll pay an extra $12,000 just in tax. When you add it all up, expect to pay about 6% of the purchase price in closing costs. For a typical $300,000 condo, you'll have expenses of about $18,000. In Panama, it's a whole different story. Foreigners and locals follow the same simple process. There's no government permit required. If you use one of the attorneys we recommend, the paperwork is straightforward, and they will automatically translate the contract for you. Legal fees are typically lower, and there's no transfer tax for the buyers, only a small registration fee and minimal closing costs. In Panama, you can expect to pay less than 2% in fees. So for that same $300,000 condo, you'll pay about $5,500 in closing costs, which is less than 1/3 of what you'd pay in Hungary. Winner, Panama, for making property ownership fast, affordable, and headache-free. Number 7, property taxes. This one's a blowout. In Hungary, annual property taxes vary by municipality. If you buy in an older district, then your taxes may be similar to Panama's, which are 0.5% per year. However, if you buy in a more affluent district, then your tax bill may reach a whopping 3.6% of the assessed value. In Panama, there are still properties with a tax exoneration. For example, Casa Bonita in Playa Bonita won't pay property taxes until 2032. The winner, Panama, based on an easier, cheaper property tax system. Number 6, weather. Hungary has 4 distinct seasons. Sounds lovely, right? Until winter hits and you're scraping ice off your car in the dark at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. When I visited Hungary in early fall, the weather gave me whiplash. It was nice for the first half of my trip when it was in the high 80s, and then it immediately dropped into the high 50s. Where was the perfect 70-degree fall weather I'd been promised? Nowhere to be found. Locals seemed used to the violent shift in weather. They also warned me that by November, the sun disappears, the gray settles in, and you start counting the days until spring. Meanwhile, in Panama, it's warm year-round. Sure, there's a rainy season, but rain here usually means an afternoon shower and day after day of beautiful sunshine. Winner, Panama. No contest. Number 5, lifestyle and culture. Here's where Hungary really shines. Budapest is stunning with its majestic bridges, historic castles, and lively cafes. The architecture is romantic, and the people, while reserved at first, are polite and cultured. When I traveled through Hungary, I loved the wine regions, especially Eger, where you can visit nearly 50 wine cellars in one walkable area. The red wines from Villány and the crisp whites from Lake Balaton were delicious, though I found winery visiting hours unpredictable. Sometimes you drive for miles to a winery that showed open hours on its website, only to find it closed with no explanation. In Panama, life is more modern. Think rooftop bars, live music, beach clubs, and lazy Sunday brunches. People are friendlier, warmer, and life just feels lighter. Winner, this one is a tie. Hungary wins for old world beauty and, of course, the wine, and Panama wins for lifestyle ease, friendliness, and fun. Number 4, economy and stability. Hungary is still recovering from decades of communist rule. The economy struggles with inflation, wages are low, and people are terrified of losing their job. There's a noticeable cautiousness among locals. They're polite, but often hesitant to take risks or embrace change. Panama, by contrast, has one of the strongest economies in Latin America. The US dollar is the official currency. The banking system is robust, and foreign investment is welcomed. Winner, Panama. It's forward-thinking, financially stable, and open for business. Before we move into the top 3, let me pause for a second. I was looking at my analytics the other day, and I was shocked to find out that nearly 70% of you who watch my videos aren't yet subscribed. If you've ever gotten any value from my content, could you do me a quick favor? Hit that subscribe button. It's free for you, and it helps me more than you can ever imagine. Now, let's get back to our countdown. Number 3, healthcare. Hungary has a public healthcare system, but expats often find it slow and outdated. The good news? Private healthcare is available, and relatively affordable by European standards. In Panama, healthcare quality is surprisingly high, especially in Panama City, where many doctors were trained in the US or Europe. Private hospitals like Pacifica Salud or the Panama Clinic are world class, and prices are a fraction of what you'd pay in the States. Winner? This one's a tie. Both have modern, accessible, and affordable care. Number 2, accessibility and travel from North America. Panama is a quick 3 to 6 hour flight away. There are direct flights from major U.S. cities, and Tocumen International Airport is a major hub for the Americas. For North Americans, getting to Hungary means a long, expensive international flight and jet lag that takes days to shake. Winner, Panama. It's closer, cheaper, and easier to reach. Number 1, quality of life. At the end of the day, what really matters is how your life feels. In Hungary, life can be charming, but also bureaucratic and a bit gray, both literally and figuratively. The remnants of communism are still visible in the cautious mindset of its citizens and the governmental red tape. In Panama, even though the mañana attitude is alive and well, life feels vibrant. It offers sunshine, ocean breezes, friendly faces, and the freedom to build the lifestyle you want. Whether you're retired, working remotely, or investing, it's a place where dreams really can turn into a reality. Winner, Panama, for its energy, optimism, and quality of life that just can't be beat. Hungary is an incredible place to visit, especially for wine lovers like me. If you haven't been, definitely plan a trip. But when it comes to actually living abroad, Panama wins on residency, cost, climate, economy, and lifestyle. If you're considering a move, go to choosepanama.com/VIP to join my insider program and get VIP information. You'll get personalized advice, property guidance, and access to the best listings before they ever hit the market. Because when it comes to living your Panama dream life abroad, Panama isn't just a destination, it's a lifestyle. See you in Panama!